So it looks like we're live. Now, you must be thinking I'm crazy as far as doing a live stream during Labor Day weekend in the middle of the day on a Saturday. Everybody's out. They're at the beach. They're doing everything they could possibly do other than actually watching YouTube and that kind of thing. And that's fine because one of the reasons I'm actually doing this live stream is because I'm not expecting a lot of people to be on while I'm on, and I'm actually trying to be as proactive and as uh, productive with my time as possible. You know, one of the things that a lot of people are realizing right now is that the real estate world is going gangbusters right now, especially in the suburbs. Everybody's got that escape from New York mentality right now, and they're all leaving the city, coming into Long Island, Nassau, Suffolk. They're going to Westchester, leaving the state, going to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all different areas. So we've been quite busy this weekend. There's no, 3 4 day weekend for us. We're basically doing showings throughout the whole weekend, and I was actually the way all our showings happened, that we just had a little bit of gap right now, and I'm actually back at my office trying to get a couple things in order, checking up a couple things, and I figured I'd take advantage of this time because it's so rare to actually have some time like this during the day on a Saturday or a Sunday, during the day, to be able to try to do a test stream or something to that effect where I'm in one place, I'm not moving. As you can see, those other live streams that I've had in the past, where I'm driving and that kind of thing, we got choppy signals, those kind of things. So I figured I'd do another test stream to see how we could go about it. Um, First of all, I hope everybody is having a awesome Labor Day weekend. I hope you are all having a really good one because I'm not even sure what everybody is doing now. I know the beach is something that a lot of people are going to. A lot of people try to get away and go to for like 3 4 day weekends, 5 day weekends. But a lot of the places that are destinations are actually booked solid, and it's really hard to find places to go to right now, especially if you did it last minute, which a lot of people did do it last minute because nobody, typically you get people that would book these things for 3 4 5 6 months in advance. They didn't do that because obviously coronavirus. We didn't know what's going to happen and what workplace we're going to be at this point. So last minute scramble. So, it's that kind of thing. I don't know how good the quality of this stream is. I hope it's really good because this is the first one I believe I'm attempting to do while I'm in one place and not moving around or on the road and that kind of thing. Uh, if it is coming out good to everybody now while it's live, please let me know. It'd be great to give me some feedback and making sure that we could keep giving up better production value to everybody. But before everything, like I said, I hope everybody is having an awesome Labor Day weekend. And just in case, just in case people don't know what Labor Day is, Labor Day is a holiday that was federally instituted to celebrate on every first Monday of September every year to honor and recognize all the Americans that through the labor movement and the works and contributions they've done throughout time and history. So it's kind of a weird holiday right now, considering that so many people are out of work and there's so much turmoil in the business world. But just like any other time and every other place in history, here in the U.S., we'll find a way to get through it, and I'm sure that will come out stronger and better off more than anything else. More than anything else at the end of the day. Um, as you can see, I'm trying to multitask right now as I'm doing, like I'm looking at my screen. I'm trying to put something. I'm answering emails right now, just responding to things. There's a lot more activity than you think that there would be on a weekend like this. It's kind of almost a gangbusters right now. That I don't believe I remember any Labor Day weekend in the past that we've had so many people wanting to see homes. It's an anomaly. Usually, everybody's just trying to get themselves ready for school and getting themselves prepared and etc. etc. for what's unofficially, because Labor Day weekend is unofficially the end of summer, even though we don't get the end of summer until September 21st, I think, or something to that effect. Uh, but it's one of those things that you kind of uh, call it unofficial last the weekend of the summer. So they want to get their stuff done. They want to get ready for school. They're getting all situated. Typically, most of the people that have a genuine need to find a house and to be with in time for school districts and stuff like that, that typically has been already uh, gone. Those people already found their houses and everything like that. But it's a very different vibe right now that we're dealing with. We're not dealing with the same kind of vibe that you normally do. Like I said before, we still have the escape from New York mentality, and a lot of people, regardless if the school year is starting or not, is actually still looking for places. And because the way the inventory just like um, kind of flew immediately, because a lot of people took their houses off. We've talked about this in the past in previous videos that I put in, where people basically pulled a lot of their homes off the market, properties off the market um, during our lockdown or quarantine. And there was a lot of uncertainty whether they're going to put it back on the market or not. Some people never did, never put it back on the market. Some other people are still holding back. They want to put it on, but they're holding back because they're a little unclear of what their future holds for them. So a lot of people's plans have changed. You really have a lot of altered type of thoughts that people are having as far as how to approach this thing. So because of that reason, when quarantine was over, when lockdown was over, when people wanted to actually uh, show homes again and actually uh, you know uh, they basically wanted to uh, buy a place. There was not a lot out there, and whatever was good that was out there went fast, like super fast. And even the stuff that was mediocre was going at pretty fast clips. The stuff that was not so great ended up still selling because there was no alternatives. So now we're at the point where slowly the inventory is starting to catch up. However, it still hasn't leveled out. The demand is still more. You still got, probably like 50, 100 buyers for each one house that's becoming available. There's more demand right now and more people that are looking to get out of the urban life and get into suburban life more than anything else. So you're talking about a really odd type of situation, which you don't normally get. You really don't. It's very different. It's a very 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 different type of mindset and mentality that people are having, and I don't see this going away. I've talked about this in the past in videos where you had people that were speculating where this market's going to go and that kind of thing, and we're not necessarily going to be able to predict this for quite some time. I've said this in the past. Once we got out of quarantine and once we got out of lockdown, we were going to hit a window of almost like a rabid type of movement towards purchasing places because you had pent up need and pent up demand. that was not being able to help the consumer, especially here in New York. We're talking about this more of a New York type of setting than anything else. I'm sure in other states you might have some similar type of situations. In other states you might not have those situations because there might not be that urgency, that panic, that fear of people in the inner city that are looking to get out. There was so many things that happened over the past few months that have altered people's perceptions and thoughts of living in the city, living in New York, living in the boroughs. Um, and unfortunately, it kind of built up a mass type of hysteria or panic. I did see it back in 2001 when we had 9/11, where people were just trying to escape from New York because they were afraid of a plane falling on their head. And you know what? I lived in Astoria at that time, and you know what? We all had that fear. Like we're all looking up in the sky and saying, "Is a plane going to fall on our head today, tomorrow? When? When is this going to happen again?" It's not a question of if. When is it going to happen again? That was a mentality that was happening. But you know what? That kind of tapered off in about 6 to 12 months. Kind of people kind of again they didn't forget, they didn't completely dismiss the whole idea of something like that happening, but slowly we started getting back into some type of normalcy. And you know what? Years later, what's 2001, 2020 now, 19 years later, um, it's not talked about as much as it was. And yeah, there are a lot of protocols that were put in place. A lot of people are being more careful, and they're doing what they have to do, but out of sight, out of mind. That's the kind of thought process. Happened again during Sandy when everybody got blasted with that storm, and then blasted with a snowstorm right after, a few, 3, 4 days later. And then you had all the people evacuating and trying to escape from the South Shore and anything that was coastal and get away from the water. And what happens? We're back in 2018, 2019, 2020. People are going back to those houses and they're basically purchasing right on the water, because now especially now they want to have their own little isolated area. You know, uh, Now people want to be on the water. They want to have their own little private beach. They want to have their isolation because of the stuff that we're dealing with. If you have a mindset that you're afraid of being close to people, what better setting to be in is an isolated home that has a distance between other homes and then has the ocean or the water or something that's behind it. That's the mentality. So, out of sight, out of mind. We haven't had a Sandy in a while, with storms and stuff like that. We had a nasty tropical storm a few weeks ago, but nothing even close to that. We're talking about people, kind of like saying, okay, that was a once in 100 year thing. Can it happen again? Yeah, of course it could happen again. And it's not a question if it could happen. We will get hit by storms and we will get hit by hurricanes and all that stuff. That's just part of Mother Nature. How bad they are and how severe they are, nobody knows other than, Mother Nature. So again, people started coming back. So now we're in this pandemic, this corona, this COVID type of time that we're living. And people are in that panic. We need to get out of the condensed areas. And what's happening is not only are they looking to get out of there, they're looking to get as far out as possible and to have as much room as possible between themselves and other homes. And it's becoming more and more difficult for them to be able to accomplish that because of the lack of inventory, and the demand is high. I get people all the time, they're calling me up, I need a house here specifically. And it's funny, when you want really specific neighborhoods, those are the neighborhoods that you never really find the inventory in because they're already gone, or the people that were willing to sell at one point are not selling now, because their answer is, where would I go if I leave? I get it. You do have a sector of people that are leaving out of state completely from the area, and I see that, and it is a little bit, it's a little bit difficult and tough for me to absorb. Like, everybody leaving. But I understand it. The things here in New York have gotten very difficult for a lot of people. The financial restrictions, the burdens that people are taking, the taxes, the laws that we're dealing with. It's tough, and we're caught in between politics right now. We'll see what happens after elections happen, and it's not going to be immediate type of fix, but we'll see. Regardless of who wins, something's going to have to be done, because on a local level we haven't been really been helped. We need something coming from a federal level to be able to help our situation at this point, because our local politicians are definitely not doing what they need to do for us, from a financial burden, at least. It's tough. So you're getting a lot of the people leaving. A lot of people evacuating the inner city. Then you're getting them coming into the burbs, and a lot of people in burbs are leaving out of state. Some people are out of country, which I don't get, because how many people are you going to really, get to, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I could see leaving out of state, but out of the country, it's not like a lot of the places are much better than we are right now. They're actually much worse than we are as far as their protocols. And you see all these things coming back up, and it's getting tougher and tougher right now, as far as the other countries trying to keep up with the safety measures. We're gonna have a lot of issues coming in from either Europe or Asia at one point, or any of the other continents, because we have different type of protocols and restrictions that we're putting in place. Um, we'll see. I don't know. Well, that's me just ranting and talking. Like I said, I'm not doing this video with any thought process or any specific agenda or message that I'm giving, other than have a happy Labor Day. Be very careful. Do what you have to do. Don't let your guard down. Still got to have these things. These things, are essential. You got to have them. Doesn't hurt to have a big box of these things as well, which we do at all times. Um, this still necessary. Like I said, you have to have all these items still. Even though it's getting so much better, and it is a lot better. Like, you hate to hear about anybody dying, but we're down to, like, hearing maybe a couple people, maybe one or two people that might have passed away on a daily basis now, compared to what we were at before, which is a complete horror story. So, like I said, you'd hate to see anybody passing away, but at the same time, we've made a lot of progress, and we're on a much better level than where we were, and where we could have predicted at this point. However, you still can't let your guard down. You still have to wear your face mask. And now a lot of people, like this weekend, they're going to be in areas where they're going to be clustered in groups. They're going to be clustered in um, settings where they're going to have a lot of people around them, and they're not going to be socially distant. This whole socially distance idea is a very good idea. However, the practicality of it when you're in highly congested areas is not necessarily the it's not necessarily something that is feasible. It's not necessarily something that can actually apply or help you, because uh, when you're walking in the streets and you got like 100 people walking past each other, you're not going to have 6 feet of distance between yourselves. It's just not going to happen. So that's why you got to be careful. You still have your mask on. You got to have your gloves on. Do whatever you have to do to protect yourselves. It's one of those things. And as I'm looking right now, as I'm doing this video, I'm looking at my hair. This is my COVID cut growing back in, and I don't know. What do I do? Do I continue the Corona cut, or do I start growing my hair again. I don't know. I still have enough hair to be able to have a full head of hair, but I'm kind of digging this shortcut now. And I'll tell you what, see, 'cause it takes a few minutes off my day every time, just in combing it and grooming it, and it's a lot easier to shower and shampoo and everything like that, having this little hair. But I don't know. If you think I should continue doing the Corona cuts, comment down below. Um, if you're actually watching, like I said, I don't think anybody's actually watching this right now. I really don't. Uh, but like I said, it doesn't matter if they're watching or not. I'm just doing this as a test run. I'm sure somebody will catch on a replay and say something, whatever the case is. It's just one of those things. But if you are actually watching, go ahead, comment down below. Say if I should cut it, should keep it, dye it. I don't know, whatever you think I should do with this haircut. It's something that I. It's okay now because somebody just wrote grow. Who is this? Uh, Kathy Comment Queen. That's an interesting YouTube name. Grow it out. All right, so we got one for grow it out. I'll take that into consideration. I'm sure my wife would have a lot of input on which way I should go right now. My kids hate the fact that I've been cutting it so small. Um, let me just write back to her. Thanks for commenting. That's a vote for. That's a vote for grow it out. But that's only one vote for grow it out. I need a lot more people to comment on it before I make my decision. I'm not just going to go over Kathy Comic Queen's comment about leaving my hair long. But like I said, I'm kind of getting used to it. My kids hate it. They just hate it. My wife is not showing her hand how much she might hate it or like it. Because she knows I get a little funny sometimes. Like sometimes I'll purposely keep it on just to bug them if they kind of tell me. So we'll see. I don't know. It's like I said, the feed I hope is coming in straight. The one thing that I see a huge difference between this feed and the feeds that I usually do when I'm in a mobile setting or a little further away, it looks like much more stable. I'm not getting those like little glitches and blinks in between the video. Um, I don't know. I kind of like it. I want to be ambitious going down the line and actually stream YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. And I don't know if um, uh, I don't know how feasible it'll be to be able to do that with the Wi-Fi and be able to keep that going without having a break and not having to drag out the bandwidth too much between the two streams. I don't know. I have to figure this out. If anybody has like really good, solid advice about how to be able to stream multiple different platforms at the same time from the same place, I'd love to be able to hear it because ideally, what I'd like to be able to do, this is my ultimate goal, is to be able to uh, set up a YouTube, Facebook, and possibly a Twitch stream all simultaneously at the same place. So you'll be able to get it on whatever media you're on, but at the same time, you'll get a different angle from, it's not all going to come from this. I want it from different cameras anyway, but I'd like to be able to do that all simultaneously and not be too much of a burden on the bandwidth and the internet's speed and connection, and not having any breaks. So that's my biggest challenge to doing that, because I believe if I do that, there's so many people that are watching me on Facebook or following me on my page over there that don't necessarily do the YouTube thing, and then you have vice versa. You got the YouTube people that don't really do the Facebook thing, and I like to be able to put out content that's universally accepted through all the platforms. It's something I got to figure out. Um, like I said, it's it's a work in progress. I know that a lot of people see me put a lot more media out on YouTube, a lot more content lately, and I'm going to continue to do more and more. Like I said, I'm implementing now live streams whenever I could possibly put it out there, um, and see what people are liking and not liking. And by the way, if you are liking this, you might as well click like. Uh, and if you're not liking this, that's okay too. You do dislike. But I would love to hear your feedback of why you like it or not like it. The comments, whatever you want to put in there. Uh, that's something that you definitely want. That definitely will help me. Because if I'm putting really crappy content out there, I really want people to tell me it's crappy, so I don't continue putting it out there. And if there's something that people are really digging, they really like, I'd like you to tell me that so I could keep making similar type of content that you're enjoying and you find some value. And it's just one of those things that you want to basically be able to go back, just like anything else, any business. You go for the feedback. What are the people looking at? Like right now, doing this YouTube channel, and I guess it's not really a business, but at the same time, I feel obligation to the people that are subscribing and the people that are watching and liking the content to, or not liking the content, to be able to give them what they're looking for and what they're liking the best. Liking, I keep saying liking, but that being said, what's going the next few months in the real estate world. I'm not really sure. Like I said, we're in that window right now. How long this window will last, I'm not sure. I'm pretty confident we're definitely going to go well past the elections as far as this demand building up of people wanting to get out of populated and congested areas. That's a definite. I have no doubts in my mind that that will be continuing and that will go on not only up until the end of the year, but go well into 2021. Like I said, when we got hit with 9/11, uh, the panic and the hysteria of moving out of the city lasted for 6 to 12 months. I want to say at its peak. I feel that with this case, because we're not dealing with airplanes falling on our heads, we're dealing with something we can't see, something that somebody, if they cough on us, that we could get and possibly die, and we want to keep away from each other. So what's happening is, like, this is something that generally has, I think it's going to cause people mental problems going forward. We're uh, we're going to have a lot of people that are going to be really messed up psychologically through this whole thing, and I hate to see what we're going to get back as far as research and clinical studies and all this stuff from the next 5-10 years of the effects of this pandemic, and not only the pandemic itself, but the lockdown, the quarantine, and the whole way society and government implemented everything. And just like that, we just got a break. And just like that, we just got a break. So that is really, and that's the second break that we had. That is really interesting because I'm doing this live stream right now from a steady location. It's not something that I was, that I'm moving around. The Wi-Fi should be really strong here, and I'm actually all by myself. The office is dead. A lot of people checked out for the weekend, and they're doing the Labor Day weekend thing, and that works out just for me, great for me, because I'm getting a lot of private, quiet time right now to do my work, and The fact that I'm getting that opportunity, I'm very happy about, and I'm not getting interruptions, and I'm not getting anybody calling to ask me questions, and blah 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 blah, any of that stuff. So um, that's weird that we broke up. So just going back to my thoughts, we have this the psychological thing is going to be really messed up as far as like how people are affected to this. I really strongly, strongly believe that something like some we're going to have something something is going to definitely occur as far as the way people are uh, affected by this. I can't see this leaving us unscarred in a way. But that being said, you know, how long this will last as far as the real estate mini boom, I'll call it, because it is a mini boom. People are really like getting right, and it's gonna, I think it's gonna be for 12 to 24 months of seeing the effects of it. Now, that's my personal opinion. You want me to pull out a crystal ball? Even I don't have one here, but if it makes you happy, I'll purchase one and bring it out every time I make a prediction, and I'll stand by it. But I think from the beginning of when we got pretty much released from lockdown and released from the quarantine, um, we probably are looking at a 12 to 24 month window as far as how long this escape from New York mentality and the wanting to get into more open and suburban type of settings will last. And I could be actually, it could be even longer than that for all I know. But I'm thinking minimum 12 to 24 months is what we're looking at as far as the prime and the peak mentality. Unless something else crazy happens and we get hit by something that's not a coronavirus, maybe something worse than a coronavirus. I don't know what it could be, but it could be something that really causes um, issues for society going forward. But but that's what we're looking at, and the inventory also has to start building up in order to get us out of that. Um, Boom. It's okay for me. I'm selling more homes. I wish I had more to sell. That's the biggest problem. I don't have enough inventory to feed the appetites of the public, and we're constantly looking for more and more inventory. But that's my biggest issue as far as the way this market's going. But um, it's an artificial boost, and will it last forever? I don't know. People are telling me all the time, should I not buy because of everything? Well, if you really need to buy, and psychologically you're set, I have to get out of the city, and you're not planning on moving anywhere in near term future from the house you're going to be purchasing today, then yeah, you buy. And even if you had to pay a couple dollars extra because you bought at a premium, you got what you needed, it fit your criteria, um, and in 5 to 10 years, 20 years, whenever it is you move out, that small difference you end up paying, it won't make any difference. If you're buying though to get out of the house in 2 3 years, don't do that. You might as well find another solution at this point, because we're going to go through a little bit of a cycle again, and you don't want to be caught up in that cycle where you just bought and then you're going to lose. Because even in a perfect world where if you buy a house and then you sell it in a year and you get exactly the same amount that you just sold it for, you're still going to lose because you're losing all the closing costs. You're still going to pay attorneys. You're going to still pay a broker. You're still going to pay, et cetera, all the extra fees that you're going to be paying. So you're going to be at a loss at that. But even if you're making a little bit of money, you might still come at a loss or a wash or whatever the case is. So don't go buying a house with that mentality if you're going to be living in it. Now, if you're going to be buying a house just to invest in, and to be either for income, which I don't look forward to being a landlord here in New York for quite some time. But but if you buy it right, you could actually do really good now because a lot of those properties have been devalued. But that being said, you're looking at a situation where you can actually, if you buy a property like that for that reason, then you should be concerned about the values, and you want to make sure that you're buying at a rate where you're going to be able to be profitable from it because it's a business transaction. It's not a personal transaction. You know, I buy these pair of glasses, okay, and I don't know, they cost me $200 or whatever the case is. I don't know what Ray Bans go for these days. $200, $300, or I don't know, whatever the case is. Um, by the way, these are the only kind of glasses I like. I don't like any other glasses. Those are the Aviator Ray Ban. That's my plug for Ray Ban. But that's what I like, and I get the same ones over and over again. I forget what they go for. They go $300. That's a choice on my part to buy them. Why? Because do they hold their value? A little bit, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if it holds a value or not. This is a personal choice. This is something that I'm going to be living with and wearing every day of my life, every time it's sunny at least. Same way when you're purchasing a home, you're going to be living in it. And it has to fit your needs, and it has to fit a criteria that you really need to work well for your lifestyle. And if you don't go by that mindset, and if you don't go by that mentality, and you're looking at it just from an investment point of view, uh, you're going to compromise things because price does, dictate. You get what you pay for, kind of a mentality, and that happens a lot with houses. So I'm not saying go and overpay, or like just go with fistfuls of cash. They take whatever you want. That doesn't. That's not a good mentality, and that's not a good approach either. At all, not a good approach. But if you go in with the right mindset and the right attitude about it, and say, okay, these are what the houses for. Let's say you're in the market for a house that's, I don't know, $800,000, and you end up paying $810,000 or $820,000 at the end of the day. But it works really well for you and your needs and your family's needs, or your other significant other's needs, or if you're all by yourself, your single lifestyle needs. It works really, really well for you. And there's not really anything else out there that works well for you, or there's other things that have other deficiencies or whatever the case. There's always a balance. You're never going to get 100% exactly the way you want. You're looking to get as much as you can off that checklist marked off to fit your criteria. So if you end up finding what it works and you pay a couple dollars more, you take it. You take it. And like I said, 10, 20, 30 years down the line, that small difference you paid is insignificant, because I promise you what's going to happen is there's going to be somebody else that comes along the way. They're going to end up buying it, and because you were basically at the end of the day kind of like, I don't want to say nickel and diming it, because it's money. It's important. If you don't have the money and you don't have the financial capability to make that purchase with that extra $10,000, $20,000, but in a case of like an $800,000 house, if $10,000 is going to make or break you as far as being able to purchase it, then I strongly suggest you shouldn't be buying an $800,000 house in the first place. Maybe you should be buying a $700,000 house in the first place. But that's another topic altogether. If you're going to be doing that, then just bite the bullet and buy whatever you can, because it fits your needs. I'm not telling you to buy something you hate or something you settle and then overpay for it. Don't do that either. Because that's happening a lot too. People are just buying whatever they can because out of desperation, out of need. I don't find that to be a good policy either, and it shouldn't be something that you're doing. But I don't know. It's just a very uh, delicate type of market that we're in right now, and it could go and shift one way or the other really quickly, like super fast. Um, but Damn, I just got an alert telling me I gotta get ready for my next appointment. So I'm actually gonna check off this live stream. Um, Kathy Comment Queen, thank you for commenting. I saw there's a couple other people that like this video. Thank you for liking the video. I'm sure that you're the only ones that are actually watching live at this point. Maybe some other people will watch when it's actually ready for a rewatch. But I'm gonna end this video on the thoughts of have a great Labor Day weekend. Be super careful. Have lots of fun. Built up that fun tolerance. Like get your fun intake as much as you can right now, because we're gonna go back a little bit to the rat race in a couple of days once the schools start. Once like jobs kind of start getting started again. Well, some people are going to be working from home still, and it's not going to be much of a change for them. But let's just say that we're getting into more of a normal phase. So have an awesome Labor Day weekend. Be careful, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and and kick the little notification bell. I had to say it. You know, this is the thing that we do on YouTube. We ask for everybody to subscribe and to like our videos. And like I said, I don't care if you like it or dislike it. Do whatever you want. But I would love for you to at least let me know why you like it or not like it, and subscribe. I got plenty of people that are uh, liking the stuff and giving me really positive stuff. I got other people that are giving me really unproductive stuff, but that's okay. I love it all the same. Again, happy Labor Day. Enough. I'm talking too much again. I get on my rants. When I get on these live streams, I just keep talking and I don't realize I'm good talking, but I got to get to this appointment. So we will shut this off, and I will be with you soon, and another video will be released soon. I don't know exactly when, but it will be soon. And I am gone. How do we turn this thing off? Doing this from my phone. How do we do this? Damn it. How do we... All right, signing off. Happy Labor Day.